this week I would like to. I'm not into these dedications really, but I want to dedicate this year to Lili Nishmas, my friend, Avram ben Yankov Levi, because today, something came to me when I was thinking about maybe sharing a Dvar Torah with a tzibur that was, made Lili Nishmasai. So I want to share it. The Vart really comes from our Rebbe. We shared a Rebbe a long time ago, Rabbi Siegel, or Pesach Siegel. It's his Vart, but at the end, I'm going to make a little bit of a, Efsher type of Hoysofa. So Murdika, there's a Murdika Sugya going on over here in this week's Parsha, in the Makkah of Choshech. The Makkah of Choshech. A few ha'aras that we could be mayor. In the Psukim, Pashad in the Psukim. So, after looking through the Psukim, the first ha'ara is not as big as I thought it was, but you have to pay attention that throughout the Makkahs, most of the Makkahs, the Rebbeinu Shalom told Moshe or Aaron to use the stick, use the mate. The offer, there's very few of them, and Choshech is one of them, where the makkah was done without the mate. There was no mate involved. Netei es yodcha al hashomayim v'hi Choshech. That's a ha'ara. That's a ha'ara. And then the pasuk goes on, Vayed Moshe yod al hashomayim v'hi Choshech afil b'chol eretz Mitzrayim shloishes yom. So we have 3 days. It wasn't really 3 days. Chazal make a cheshbon. It was 6 or 7 days. Leiro ishus achiv. They couldn't get up. They couldn't sit down. And the end, ulechol b'nei Yisrael haya or b'moshvoisam. So Gans Klal Yisrael had or b'moshvoisam. So I don't think it's I don't think there's anything wrong with saying it, but we're all very used to, the Haggadahs that have pictures and stuff. I don't think even the best artist in the world, can draw such a thing. How do you do that? No, and it's not black and white cookies, by the way. That's not the Vart. How do you have light and darkness at the same time? Huh? No. Whatever. Some people are giving out black and white cookies to cover the choshech. Whatever. Okay, say it. How do you have darkness or at the same time? How do you draw such a thing? Okay, that's and now the Rashi brings a medrash, very interesting medrash, which also you only find it by choshech. The medrash asks. Yeah. Why did he bring Choshech? Why did he bring Borod? Why did he bring Orod? What kind of a question is that? Why did he bring Choshech? It's one of the markets. I don't know. He brought Choshech. Why did he bring Choshech? So the whole spiel of here. A big chelik of Klal Yisrael had to die. And also the what's his names? The Kalim. They were shoyal the Kalim. And I said, oh no, we don't have Kalim. No, you do have Kalim. It's over here. Well, all these things are happening by Choshech Mechatesi. All the Makkahs were Makkahs. They came to do their job. To the mitzvah. And over here, there's other things happening. My high. Good. Very good. I think very well. These are not my kashas. This is a Murdika setup. My Rebbe puts together. Very nice. So he brings from his Rebbe, and I heard it from my Rebbe. I'll tell you how I heard it from my Rebbe. Murdika thing. I was zeicher to hear shir from Rabbi Avram Kamenetsky, Rabbi Shmuel's oldest son, and he is such an amazing demus. He's a Kamenetsky, but he's also Talmud from Rebel, Rebel, Salvation. He's a real brisk and he's one of the big Talmidim of Rav Moshe, like, 30 plus years. Yeah. So he has so much in him, that's like steers, like it's hilarious. But he's a real Kavanah. So we heard shir from him. And I remember we were learning Bava Kama. In the beginning of Bava Kama, we have the, Rav Yosef, Kedim Targum Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef says, Nivu, Matspuna, all that stuff, yeah? He's sitting there in his Gemara and he says, the Tosfos brings the Rav Yosef, and he says to us that Tosfos says it was a Sagi Nor. And in his majestic voice, yeah, he said, Sagi Nor, Rav Yosef had a lot of light. I said, Rebbe, what are you talking about? What does it mean a lot of light? He's blind, talk straight. What does it mean a lot of light? So then he tells me, Mati, go outside and stare at the sun and tell me what you see. And that was a beautiful experience. Hurt my eyes too. If you stare at the sun, you don't see nothing. But that's a lot of light. He says, Saginar is not stam a euphemism. I think I'm saying the right word, euphemism? Is that correct?
No one else knows.
No one else knows? It's not stam like, Loshen Saginor. Rav Moshe, Rabbi Kavnesi told this to me, and then later I saw it written down, my Rebbe writes it. Rav Moshe says this word, that Saginor is a blind man because he has a lot of light. That's a Moridikacha. That's a Moridikazot. Okay, because of the light. Too much light. Go blind. So he brings a medrash. It's a medrash rabbah. It's also a medrash rabbah and a tanchuma. So the tanchuma says on this pasuk of Netei Yodcha Al Shamayim V'Choshech. Also, the medrash asks a funny question. Meheichon Haya Oisa Choshech. What is? It's a weird question. Where did it come from? Where did it come from, the Choshech? So the Reb Yehuda, Reb Nechemia, they say, Me Choshech Shel Mala. Came from the Choshech from above, from the Shamayim. So my Rebbe asks, what does it mean, Choshech and Shamayim? If anything, this Choshech in Olam Hazeh, Olam Shehu Nister, yeah? Olam that's full of Choshech. What is Choshech and Shamayim? What are you talking about? What's Choshech Milamala? Where's the Choshech? So boys, I said, Mordecai is from here. I don't know if you could say it in Rashi, but for the Medrash, you could say it. The Choshech Shel Mala Rabbeisai is and the Chiddush is that Moshe Rabbeinu was like, he was able to take it. He was living here and there simultaneously, no problem. The Choshech Shel Mala is light. It's or in a more like in an insane, sense. It is a blinding light. It is the light from the or from the Shemayim. Now when you bring that or downstairs, it's a blinding light. So the Choshech in Mitzrayim, Kumte Chois, was or. It was or, but anybody who is unable to relate to such an or, it's blinding. Can't. Over the chelik of Klal Yisrael that was stayed, and Moshe Rabbeinu himself, is or b'Moshe Voisna. It's clear as day. So that was how it was one thing, which meant different things for whoever it was. Mitzrayim. What's the word of Choshech? Choshech Mitzrayim. What's the word of Choshech in Olam Hazeh? Choshech means that the world is its own tachlis. Every chevet, its own zach. That was the mentality. That's the mentality of Choshech. And Memela Mitzrayim wanted to control the world. Paro was Melech Ha'olam Be'etzem. The Medrash says that all the Melachim sent their Ksarim to Paro. He became the physical Melech HaOlam. And all the riches, everything was in Mitzrayim. The pshat is that they embraced the world and said, it's mine. It has no purpose. No kedusha. No kedusha. You understand? It was a world controlled by darkness. Kilu. Choshech. The Or comes down, blinds them, and says, and comes along Klal Yisrael and says, no, this world has a purpose. This world is mechuven Elov Yisborach. And that's how the Chfotzim get in over here. The Kalim. Why is the Kalim such a big sugya by Choshech? Because the Mitzrayim were trying to steal that. So they said, no, give us the Kalim, because the Kalim have a higher purpose. It's all the same sugya. It's all happening here. So that's all, my Rebbe's words. Okay, good, gewaldig. What's my little hoisafa? I think, according to this mahalach, its pshat is it was blinding light, but no, not for the Yidden. The Yidden were able to see perfectly fine. They were able to see perfectly fine. That's how this vort is going. I want to possibly suggest a little bit along the same lines what we've been saying a few weeks already, is that it was blinding light for everybody. Nor you didn't know how to see when he can't see. That's the spitz of a Yid. Not blinding light, but a blind nation. We don't see like normal people. That's not, a Yid sees differently. Like a blind man. A blind man is not walking around in the dark. Look at all the blind Yidden out there. I asked a few people this week, I said, do you know any blind people? Every single guy every single guy that responded to me told me, yeah, I know this guy, that guy. Everybody's a pele otzum. Like extraordinary people. Right? Because a Yid sees past his chesroinus, past what can't be seen. Okay? That is the Am Hashem. We have a purpose that's unfathomable, unseen. So it's not the pshat that we were able to see in that light. No, it was a blinding light. You didn't see without seeing. That's the vote. We're the blind nation. The blind nation. And that's shaykh to Borei Olam. You can't see Hashem. He's a roya ve'ena nira. We are ena roya, but able to see, Same like him. Okay? So that's the vote. Say that. Good.